In the suburbs of a small American town surrounded by dense forests lived three friends, Jake, Stephen, and Lily. They often played in the forest, exploring its nooks and crannies. One day, during another hike, they came across an old well. Its stone walls were peeling, and inside was a dark, gaping hole that reeked of icy cold. Curiosity was stronger than fear. Jake peered inside, shining his flashlight down the well, and saw a rusty ladder down into the darkness. Their childish thirst for adventure had made them make the fateful decision to climb down. The steps creaked beneath their feet, and the air grew increasingly musty. When they reached the bottom, the well led to a narrow tunnel carved into the stone. A faint rustle could be heard ahead, as if something was moving in the darkness. Stephen offered to go back. Jake, however, had already stepped forward. He pulled Lily, whom he held by the hand, behind him. Stephen followed, and the three of them moved on. The tunnel led them into a huge hall where the walls were covered with incomprehensible symbols, and an old wooden table stood in the center. There were strange things on it: broken dolls, rusty knives, children's drawings of figures with empty eye sockets. Suddenly the walls shook, and a frightening sound was heard. In panic, the children rushed back, but the exit had disappeared. From the dark corners, silhouettes began to approach them, tall, thin, with faceless faces. They stretched long, bony fingers toward the children, and the air was filled with ghastly whispers. Lily screamed, and Stephen tried to run, but a shadow grabbed him, dragging him into the darkness. Jake grabbed Lily's hand, but an invisible force separated them. The last thing he heard was her piercing scream. A moment later, Jake saw a tunnel in the darkness and ran sharply toward it. He felt like someone was chasing him, trying to catch him. He didn't remember how he got out. Only vague images, long corridors, whispering voices, pain, and eternal fear. Jake ran and ran through endless tunnels until he found himself in a forest among familiar trees. He realized that he had been running for a long time, perhaps all night. One rainy fall day, a ragged young man appeared on the edge of town. It was Jake. The boy's appearance hadn't changed in the time he'd been gone, except that his eyes were empty, his skin pale, and his clothes were the same clothes he'd disappeared in. When the townspeople told him it had been 5 years since they disappeared, they asked him what had happened to Lily and Stephen, and then Jake cried. He tried to tell, but the words stuck in his throat. They were gone, only shadows. That same night, the old well opened again, and in its depths, the voices whispered again,